Where'd you go from there?
But working at the club, then I went on my own to manage the acts.
Right.
Then I went back to Fred Wandrum. I ran his publishing company, Fredana Management
Right.
Music, and I worked co-managing Jerry Jeff Walker, who I brought into their company. Then I met, actually I met Michael Sukin, who was Lou Levy's son, down at the bitter end, and he said, hey, why don't you come and do some publishing with us at Leeds Music, you know. So it sounded great, you know, and I was going to do that, and then I told Fred, you know, I'd bring Fredana's publishing in with Lou. Fred was in the midst of doing a film with Universal, Woodstock film, right?
Right.
So Sal Chianti, who was the head of MCA Music and probably the #1 publishing guy in
Right,
the
I
world.
remember Sal.
Yeah. He said, hey Fred, bring the thing in with us, you know, while you're doing films with Universal. And Neil Diamond, who was managed by Fredana, was on Deck. It wasn't called Deck at the time. They started a new label for him. It was in Universal MCA. So.
Right.
So I ended up going up into MCA Music and running that publishing company. And
Out of there.
yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. All of a sudden, I'm above 14th Street, like I'm the.
You're out of the village. Oh my God.
Some people, I used to say, you know, when I was managing execs, like, wow, when am I going to meet somebody in business above 14th Street? Now I'm the guy that people say, hey, we know a guy.
Now, wait a second. Where was Max's Kansas City? Was that above 14th Street or below?
It was, I think, a block or two above.
Above 14th
Union
Street.
Square, yeah,
Okay.
Between 18th and 40th. Yeah, right, that's right.
Now, do you have any memories of Max's? What are some
Yeah,
of the
sure.
of Max's?
Yeah,
Talk to me a little
because,
bit.
when I signed Kinky Friedman to Vanguard Records,
Uh-huh.
and we did a showcase with Kinky,
Uh-huh.
which was, I'm not even going to say some of the jokes that they weren't appropriate for a New York audience.
Okay, maybe appropriate for my book, I'll tell you that. Go
Well,
ahead.
anyway. Billy Joel was the opening act. I had no idea who the hell Billy Joel was. Well, he was nobody at the time.
Right,
He was
right.
Billy Joel, but
Right,
you know.
right.
So, and I didn't even know he was the opening act until my ex-partner told me that many years ago. So, by the way, you know, you had Kinky Friedman at Max's Kansas City. Billy Joel was the opening act. I think he played Piano Man also. So I stayed at MC. Well, here I go again. Right?
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's right. No problem.
So I stayed at MCA Music for 3 years. Got married. My wife was a receptionist there. And then Richard Goddard and Seymour Stein asked me to come over. That Sire Records, it was just starting to happen as a more like a folky bluesy label, right?
Yeah.
So I left MCA Music and
Uh-huh.
went with Seymour and Richard. And it was an interesting.
Now, Sire was still doing folky acts. They didn't go
Yeah.
to they didn't go to the Ramones or anything at that point.
Correct. Well, I went over there like 1971.
So it was early 70s.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're moving into the 70s in part 2 from my book.
Okay.
Now at part 2, I was a writer for Beechwood Music, and then I was doing an off-Broadway musical, and then I started working with Tom and Vince.
My buddies, Vince.
Contemporary Productions.
Yeah.
Now tell me some stories about, what do you remember
Well, I
about
can't tell
them?
Vince was quite a character. Vince was managing Larry Coryell,
Right.
who I signed to Vanguard Records.
Right.
And so I brought Vince into the Vanguard offices because Vanguard didn't spend money in marketing and promotion, right?
Uh-huh.
So I thought Larry needed a marketing guy, a radio guy.
Right.
So I said, here, Vince, take this office and just call everybody, call radio stations, press, do whatever you can. They didn't know, how to market this
Right,
stuff.
right.
Love it. So about 8 months later, Maynard Solomon, who was one of the presidents, came over to me and says, this is 8 months after, or maybe 7 months. Dave, there's a guy that's been working here in the back office. You know who he is? I said, yeah, he's Larry Coryell's manager, and so that worked out good,
Because when Tom and Vince, and they would book me as an opening act for the Braid and for Oregon and for the various acts that they put in the various clubs at the time.
He had his own office at the time. Right?
Yeah, and I was
Broadway.
Yeah, well, he was at 1500 Broadway actually.
Right.
That was after 57th Street that
Right.
he came down there. And we have some interesting memories from back then.